What up, Vibe Nation? It's about 10 a.m. right now. Well, I'm back in the kitchen today with another cooking video. I recently came across a TikTok about some al pastor spare ribs. Now, the guy on there says, I bet you've never had something like this, or I bet you've never had al pastor ribs. And although his claim is probably correct, about 3 years ago, I actually made a version of that, but adobada ribs. I'm not the biggest fan of the al pastor sweetness from the pineapple. Although I do like al pastor in general, I'm not the biggest fan. So I actually came up with adobada spare ribs because I'm a huge fan of adobada. So that's what we're gonna be doing today. Let's get it, let's go. All right, so you're gonna wanna grab your ribs. And really, any ribs work for this. You don't have to have these spare ribs. You can get baby back ribs, or, I mean, even beef ribs you could technically do this with. You just gotta know how to cook beef ribs. Those are a little different. Well, a lot of people at this point might tell you to take off a lot of this little excess fat that's on the ribs, but personally, I like to leave it right on there. I don't know if it's just a Mexican thing or if these ribs just doesn't really look like it has much fat on them, but a lot of people will, oh, take this off, take that off. I'm gonna leave it on. Personally, I like the little flavor that extra fat gives it. So I'm gonna leave them like this and go ahead and start prepping them. So first I'll add a little bit of oil. This is in general just so your seasonings stick on a little better, you know, they just bind, what you would say. Some people like to use, what's it called, mustard. I've used mustard before. It doesn't, the flavor doesn't stay on there per se at all, but I don't really think it's necessary. So I just do oil and go from there. So since these are going to be in a marinade, I'm just going to keep it simple. Salt, garlic powder, pepper, and paprika. All right. Go ahead and put these back in the fridge.
So for my marinade, I like to keep it pretty simple. I got dos chiles guajillos, one chile ancho, onion, garlic, and then you'll see the rest of the seasonings. But to start off, I think I just lost a garlic there. To start off, I just like to roast my garlic and my onions. It just gives it a little bit of flavoring. Actually, a lot of flavor. What am I talking about? Anyways, my chiles, I just boil them. Simple as that. I like to keep things simple. I like to feel that anybody could make this. It doesn't have to be no professional chef or nothing like that. Go ahead and put all that in the blender with some salt, some of this mix that I'll just put a picture of it. I have no idea what it's called. Put a picture of it so you guys know. Get some Lowry seasoning.
Seems about right.
Some bouillon.
Seems about right.
Some red pepper.
Seems about right.
And then some red crushed pepper.
Seems about right.
Go ahead and put it in the blender with some water. Be careful here because it is super hot. Once it's thoroughly mixed, we're gonna go ahead and put it in our strainer. I'm gonna show you a quick little tip here. A lot of us will just tap it like this, tappy, 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 tappy. Well, guess what? That's gonna take you forever.
Oh my God, bro.
What you wanna do is just go ahead and mix it. Just mix it right in. however you want. Just be careful, you know, of course, but if you do this, it's way faster. Trust me, I know this. I learned this myself. Nobody taught me. My girlfriend did not teach me this. Don't believe her if she says that. I'm gonna go ahead and grab my marinade now, put it all over my previously seasoned ribs. Go ahead and flip them upside down so the bigger part of the meat of the ribs is touching the marinade the longest. Now this was a little watery, I would say, but it still works great. I would suggest though you put slightly little less water than I did. I slightly wrapped this in saran wrap and then let it marinate overnight. I'm actually gonna be making these ribs in the smoker. Now, if you don't have access to a smoker, I suggest you get one.
Knock the fuck up, knock the fuck up you.
Nah, just messing around. If you have an oven, just go ahead and put them on a rack at 350, 370 degrees and just kind of watch them until they're ready. I got the smoker going at about 200 degrees. Now, everybody's smoker is going to be different and how it's controlled and all that stuff. So just make sure it's at about 170 to 200 degrees for the initial smoke process. So I go ahead and grab my ribs, put them face side up. Now do not get rid of any of these juices. You're gonna need it for basting later. You're just grabbing some of those extra juices, putting them all over, just lathering that baby right up. They do tend to get a little bit dry on the outside if you just leave them like that. So while that's cooking and going, taking a little advantage of going on a little walk. This guy's super active, and anytime that I can get to hang out with him and be a part of what he's doing, I definitely take advantage of that. So why not get out there, have some fun, get some fresh air, you know, and yeah, have a good time. Let's go. So one of the biggest reasons why I'm so into cooking is because of my dad. As you can see right there, he's already over there cooking some carne asada. Him, alongside the rest of my family and myself, built this outdoor kitchen area that you're seeing straight up from the ground to what you're seeing right here. It has a TV out there. We like to go and just hang out as a family. We really built it to be a communal area where we can all gather up, cook some good food, and just in general and enjoy ourselves. It has a smoker, a regular grill, a griddle, an outdoor fire pit with a grill out there as well that we can crank up and down. And so we really thought about a lot of things to make this space special and a place where we can really be at and have some fun. So after about 2.5 hours, your ribs are looking a bit like this, and this is where I decided to go ahead and grab a lime. Now here's a quick little tip for y'all if your limes are a little bit on the hard side per se. Whoa, no diddy. I then go ahead and grab that lime and just pour it all over my rack of ribs. At this point, I go ahead and baste it. I wrap it with aluminum foil and leave them there for about another 2.5 hours. At this point, I also raise the heat to about 350. Man, we hear these are almost ready to go. I mean, look how tender these are. I mean, look at that. All off the bone, baby. So at this point, I'm just gonna go ahead and take them out of the foil and let them sit in the smoker. Maybe another 15 minutes or so, and then they're gonna be good to go. So after about 5 hours of this whole process, sometimes 6 or sometimes even more, depends how you're cooking your ribs. But in this case, it was about 5.5 hours. This is how they are looking. And let me tell you something, these came out absolutely amazing. As you can see, the bone is sticking right outside the meat there. You can see they're just thoroughly cooked, easy to cut right through. And at this point, you might be already seeing a little bit of pink at the edge there. That's actually a smoke ring. It's not raw. It's basically a smoke ring at the beginning If you recall, we smoked it for about 2.5 hours. It creates that barrier right there, and then once you lift up the heat after we wrapped it in the aluminum foil, it just really holds in all the flavor in the middle. And so what you end up with is this beauty of a cooked rib that when you basically bite into it, it just literally comes off the bone. It's so juicy, so tasty, and I mean, you'll see.
Oh, amazing, guys. Fall off the bone. We're ready, y'all. Look at this. Look at this. Ooh. Look at these. Oh my lord. Sometimes. Look at this. Juicy. Amazing. Look at that. How a rib should look like.
And well, a great day of cooking becomes even better with a good old-fashioned bonfire and s'mores. Thanks y'all for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments if this is something that you would try out, or if maybe you've already tried it out yourself. Let's get it, let's go.